understood, I mean, all the teams understand it, that you have to build through the draft, and they did it methodically, and they made good decisions without having top 5 picks every time. You know, they took Steph Curry at number 7.
Yeah.
I think it was 2009.
Yes.
They took Klay Thompson 11th. And then got Draymond Green 35th in the second round. They just made good decision after good decision. They wound up getting James Wiseman. They've drafted Jordan Poole. They've drafted extraordinarily well. When they've been at the end of the first round, when they've been in the lottery at the top of it, all that. Their decisions were great. You got to give great credit to Bob Myers and Mike Dunleavy, their whole staff, that have just made spectacularly good decisions and good fits.
Yeah. Strength in numbers seems to be more than just a mantra for them. They're able to find these players sometimes deep into the first round, even into the second round, with Draymond Green, who says, fascinatingly, that he remembers every single one of the players who was picked before him. But you can see, look, that's Draymond Green, who's at the draft headquarters saying, hey, I just want to make sure who's coming to us, what kind of culture are we building here. He'll go tape a podcast probably after this to let all of us know his thoughts on who will be his new teammate. There's Steve Kerr. You can see him as well, but the pick is in. So let's send it to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to see who will be joining the defending champions.
With the 28th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Patrick Baldwin Jr. from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
He was a huge high school recruit, Jay.
Yeah, Patrick Baldwin Jr. out of Milwaukee played for his father last year, and he did not have a very good year. But all his numbers are good. He's 6'9", he's got a 7'2" wingspan. Very, very talented. He was expected to be a lottery pick after his freshman year, but he was injured, didn't play much, and really struggled in his first year. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have talent, because injuries really caused him to miss most of the season. He's got good mechanics on his shot, a high release, and another guy that moves really well without the ball and can see the floor very well. So the foundation is there. He did have some lapses last year. He got passive at times, but the talent and the foundation is there. And we just talked about Golden State making good decisions. Clearly, they see the talent that's underneath the performance that didn't match up to the talent this year at Milwaukee.
Well, maybe that makes Golden State a perfect place for him to land because of the care and the time they put into development. We've seen that with blending these young players and these seasoned, champion, experienced vets. We will be right back with more from the 2022 draft.
NBA Draft 2022 is presented by State Farm.
You were talking about earlier, Kendrick, in that this is a night where it's about everybody. It's about the emotions, it's about the work, and then it's about finally crossing that stage.
Absolutely, and you brought it up, it's about the journey and the process and the steps that you had to take to get to this point, and the sacrificing. You know, this young man's story is remarkable. You could tell, like, he's been dreaming of this moment. Even probably when he was down there in the G League, you know, waiting to get that his name called in the NBA draft. But these are the moments that you live for. You want to see it from his family. You want to see the emotions from him. And I you know, it's just, I've been there before, so I understand.
Well, these are the kind of stories, right, that you see movies that are made about. But, Jay, when you're watching a player, when you're watching them go through the G League process or the college process, and then you see them at this point, I mean, for you, how does that separate when they're working through things like this when they get to this moment?
Well, on this night, it's always a celebration of getting here and getting drafted and having your next life in the NBA start. But then you got to start thinking about what are they going to be in the NBA.
Right.
Because I really mean that about this is the starting blocks for the NBA. How many guys have gotten drafted? They've done better than you think. Some don't do as well as you think. And this is the starting block.
Absolutely. It's the starting block for all of these young men as we hear their names called. And we're about to hear another as the San Antonio Spurs pick is in. Let's send it back to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the 25th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Blake Wesley from the University of Notre Dame.
Blake Wesley selected. He's from South Bend, Indiana. He wasn't actually ranked in the ESPN 2021 100. He was a four-star recruit, though, then led Notre Dame in total points and steals. Jay, what do you like about him?
Just about everything. I mean, he's a terrific young man. His dad played at Ball State. He comes from a basketball background, but he can get his own shot. You know, he's athletic, he's got a great burst, and he plays with energy and intensity. He only shot 30% from three, but he does have a good stroke that just needs some work to get more consistent, and he's got very good defensive potential. He reminds me a little bit of Bones Highland from BCU. But coming out, he's certainly much younger and not a finished product. But the fact that he's so athletic and he's got the skills to create on his own. And well coached by Mike Bray at Notre Dame, and just a really good prospect coming into the league.
Well, you can see the Spurs picks tonight. They've had a handful in this first round. And one of those players, we have their coach here tonight, Scott Drew. Thank you so much for joining us here on our set. I mean, I'm just going to get out of the way.
I got Perk, I got Jay. Hey, all I know is the Bears had a good year if we're on this stage, baby. Back-to-back top 10 picks. We get to keep Jeremy close to home. The Spurs, 2 hours and 45-minute drive, 2.5 from Magnolia. You know about that.
See, already timing the drives.
And we got more. Kendall Brown, hopefully James Akinjo. We'll wait and see what happens.
What is it like for you as you hear these young men? I mean, you've heard it before, but every year I imagine that it is special.
Well, just like you guys said up here, it's so hard to get your name called, and the emotion, excitement, adrenaline when they do. And we coach to see them reach their goals and dreams, so being here and supporting them, it's a great night for us.
And with Jeremy Sohan, you know, I was a little surprised he got taken that high, but his talent level demands it.
Yeah.
You know, you used him as a point guard at times, especially in that Kansas game. What do you think his ceiling is? What can he bring in the NBA?
Well, first of all, both of us are envious of his hair. I mean,
all the different colors. He leads the league in hair color.
And see, that's part of his versatility. You know, I mean, he's versatile on the court, off the court, but his versatility, I mean, what he can do defensively, guard 1 through 5, offensively play 1 through 5, just like Pop always wants, fundamentally sound guys. You know, our strength coach wants us to bring in guys like Perk, so that it looks like he's doing a good job. You know, when you bring in a fundamentally sound player, it looks like us coaches know what we're doing.
I don't know, whatever coffee that you were drinking tonight, can we have a little bit? Because
your tea up here is the money. Yeah, I'm just telling you.
I love your energy. Well, we had Jeremy Sohan wired for sound here tonight. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, it's getting real.